Today we're going to be talking about 9 ways to diversify your income beyond beats as a music producer. For many music producers like myself, in the beginning, selling beats is the first and sometimes the only revenue stream that you focus on. But eventually you realize that if you want to treat your career like a business, you want to diversify your income just like an investor would. So today we're going to have an educational breakdown of how producers can create multiple income streams beyond just selling beats. It will help you have long-term stability, growth, and creative freedom to do what you want in your. The first income stream that you can diversify as a music producer is music publishing royalties. What is this? Music publishing involves collecting royalties when your compositions are used, whether that's in a recording, a performance, or a sync placement. There are a lot of different revenue sources like performance royalties, mechanical royalties, sync licensing fees, and microsync and YouTube content ID. This is how to get started in collecting your music publishing royalties. The first thing is you have to have a catalog of songs or have to have a song that is performing well. Publishing is a catalog game, or if you have a hit record. And a hit record could be really big with billions of plays, or it could be a record that has, a couple 100,000 plays, etc. At the end of the day, it's important to collect your music publishing royalties. This is how you get started. First, you're going to register with a PRO like ASCAP or BMI. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to work with a publisher like Elizabeth Music Group, which is my company, to collect globally. Because your PRO only collects one type of publishing income, and that is performance royalties. So if you're only registering your songs as a PRO, you're missing a lot of stuff. And once you work with a publishing administrator like my company, we will handle registering your music so you can focus on being creative. A lot of other publishers, you still have to handle the registrations. So that can be very time consuming. And publishing royalties often become a producer's biggest source of passive income, especially if you're contributing to full records or co-writing a lot with artists. I run a publishing company called Elizabeth Music Group that has over 100 musicians signed to it. For a lot of our musicians, their publishing is their biggest source of revenue and passive income, and we help them collect that. And we also provide a lot of opportunities to diversify your income beyond just helping you collect your publishing royalties. The second thing that I think producers should do to diversify their income is sync licensing. This is one I've done a lot in my career. This is one that has really changed my business and also changes the business of so many of the musicians that we have signed to my publishing company. That is sync licensing. Sync licensing, what is it? It's when your music is used in visual media, whether that's a commercial, a trailer, a show, a film, a video game, etc. Now, here's why sync licensing matters and why I think this is an outlier that a lot of people don't focus on. One sync placement can pay thousands or tens of thousands of dollars up front, plus ongoing royalties. Sync licensing also establishes you as someone who's collaborated with top brands, and it increases your visibility to non-music audiences or even just new audiences that you don't have currently. This is how to get started in sync licensing. Now, this is a topic I talk about a lot throughout these podcasts, so if you want to see a sync specific episode, there's a bunch of those. Feel free to check them out. But how to get started in sync, to simplify it, first you're going to want to create sync-friendly music that includes instrumental versions, alt mixes, shortened versions like 15 and 30-second versions of tracks, and clean edits. Second thing you're going to want to do is work with a publisher like Elizabeth Music Group who's specialized in sync, or work with a sync agent who actively pitches music. It's important that you study sync trends. The music for sync is different than the music for albums if you want to have the most success. So it's very worthwhile to study the space and get educated before trying to get into it. I have a ton of articles on my website. I have a ton of podcasts, and there's a bunch of people on YouTube who talk about sync licensing. So go get educated, go study in that space, and then work with a publisher like my company or a sync agent or pitch to music libraries or music advertisers directly. Many successful producers today that I know in my network earn more from syncs than from beat sales. So that's a key detail. But let's say sync licensing isn't for you and you want to do something that's close to beat sales but a little different. That's going to be number 3, which is sample packs and sound kits. As a producer myself, I've put out hundreds of paid and free to download sample packs and sound kits, and this has been massive for my business. But what is a sample pack? When a producer creates a drum kit, a loop pack, a MIDI pack, and one-shots, sell to other producers and people who make music. And why this works? It's simple. You earn from your production knowledge and skill, not just the finished beats. It can build your brand in the producer community, and you can either sell your packs direct to fan or licensed via a platform like Splice if you're accepted. How to get started with sample packs is you want to curate high quality original sounds that aren't generic or recycled. There's a lot of sound packs and sample kits that already have the same sounds. So if you can create original sounds in a genre or niche that doesn't already exist, your packs will end up selling a lot more. You need to brand your packs with unique artwork and a really good landing page. The landing page is where people are going to purchase or download, right? That's going to be very important. If your landing page is not good, you will likely not get sales. Selling sound packs is a powerful form of scalable passive income when done right. A lot of people put out a sample pack and they don't promote it though. You got to get eyeballs on your sample packs. The way to do that is going to be sending it out to industry producers and having them use it on some placements. Could be a marketing tool. It's going to be you creating content around the pack. Maybe it's collaborating with other producers who also have an audience. If you can do this, your sample packs can become highly profitable and highly effective as another revenue stream. On top of that, though, another income stream that I believe Beyond Beats a music producer should have is custom production and commissions. And what is this? This is essentially offering exclusive made-to-order production for artists or brands. And the benefits of this is that you have a higher rate per track because now you're making something completely custom to their request. This can also help you build long-term relationships and recurring work if you price yourself accordingly and can work efficiently with these artists. Because a lot of artists are looking for custom production, but they might not be able to afford some of these top rates of getting people in the studio with them, or they might just be looking for something that they can't find right now. And if you can create that exclusive made-to-order style they're looking for, you're going to be able to charge a higher rate per track. Essentially, how to start this is going to be promoting availability for custom work on your social media and website. And you might want to start offering a bundle. Maybe that's production plus the mixing, plus the arrangement, plus a cover art, whatever else you can do. Offer a bundle to really provide value here. When you do provide that value and someone purchases it, you need to deliver professionally. You got to deliver on time, give them stems with vocal ready formats and clear terms, make everything super easy for this person, because that is why they're going to keep coming back for more custom production. And speaking about what I mentioned in the bundle, maybe you don't want to bundle it. So number 5 is going to be mixing and mastering services. What is this? Helping artists get professional sound quality for release ready tracks. And here are why producers are well positioned to do this. You already understand sonic texture and balance. You mix your own beats, most likely. And if you don't, you probably should learn how to do that. I know a lot of great mix engineers and a lot of great mastering engineers, but not everybody can afford a dedicated mix or master engineer. So if you can have the ability to mix your own stuff, you can likely mix for other people. And if you're selling beats already, you probably have a growing client base of artists who already trust your ear and sound. So if you got good at mixing, they will likely trust your ear and sound as well. And how to start this is basically offer a tiered package, which would be, hey, here's just a beat, here's a beat and a mix, here's a beat and a mix and a master, and you can do a premium version with multiple revisions. You're going to want to showcase before and after examples, and you're probably going to want to do a couple first mix and masters for free so you can get client testimonials. And this service can easily become a repeatable monthly revenue stream, especially if you offer fast turnaround and solid communication. A lot of artists make a lot of music, so they're going to want to make a song a month or multiple songs a month, and so they become very repeatable. I think is important for building that long-term sustainability. Number 6, you can focus on education and tutorials. And what is this? This is going to be monetizing your knowledge through a YouTube video, a paid course, Patreon memberships, or one-on-one lessons. Why this works? You can be helping younger musicians or people who are just getting started while growing your band, and this will position you as an authority and build loyalty if you're actually an authority in the space. Before you lead with education and before you lead with tutorials, you need to actually become good at the thing you are trying to teach. Right? I spent years as a full-time musician before I ever made a single piece of educational content. I've done billions of views of my music on TikTok. I have been a part of hundreds of songs and worked with a lot of brands in sync licensing. And now I run a publishing company where I help other people do the same. I became an authority first And then I started educating people and trying to help them, right? For years, I just learned all the stuff and experienced all the stuff, and now I can teach it. How to get started with this is going to be picking your niche. You're going to want to offer downloadable resources to add value. There are a lot of creators who have built huge brands through education and providing value. This can be monetized very great. It is worth mentioning that in the beginning, education and tutorials usually take a long time to become an income stream. But this can be valuable in other ways and also just allow you to effectively. Number 7, though, is merchandise and producer branding. And what is this? It's just going to be selling branded clothing, digital products, or collectibles. This can help you by strengthening your visual identity and helping to create a tribe or fan base around your name or label. And the way to get started on this is you're going to want to focus on designs that reflect your aesthetic or producer lifestyle. You're going to want to start promoting this stuff on social media. Right? There's a lot of different products that you can sell. Some people's merchandise for digital products might be something like a VST plugin, or maybe it's hoodies or hats, things along those lines. But when you're creating these products, you need to think like the audience. This is where most people go wrong. They create merchandise that they think is really cool for them. But you got to think about stuff that's really cool for other people, right? So a lot of times people are like, I'm going to just put my logo on a shirt. That can work, and you can get some sales from that. But it's a lot cooler for you to wear your logo than other people most of the time, unless that logo means something. So you need to make sure that you're establishing a strong brand so that way other people will resonate with that logo. Otherwise, create products that are adjacent to what you do, but think about it from the audience. Would a purchaser of this merchandise want to wear this time, right? Does it tell a story, a message, something that they want to share? That's very important when it comes to merchandise. Number 8 is live shows, DJ sets, and beat battles. What is this? It's going to be performing live sets, hosting a workshop, or entering competitions. And here's why this is valuable. Live shows can bring performance fees and merchandise sales, right? We were talking before about merchandise. Well, the shows are a great place for people to purchase merchandise. If they like your show, they're going to want to show support. And if they can purchase merch right then and there, they likely will. You can also do beat battles and events, which will increase exposure. This will also allow you to network with people who are in the same position as you, right? Or likely trying to be in the same position. You can meet like-minded creatives, and that can be really valuable. Workshops can lead to paid bookings and mentorship gigs. People might see what you do in a workshop and really trust what you're saying, and then want to do more paid bookings and more mentorship gigs, or even those one-on-ones like before. How to get started is to look for a local producer event and open call beat battles. There's a ton of these. You might have to travel for them. There's a bunch of them online if you can't travel. And if you can't travel and you can't find one, you can also host your own virtual beat showcase or workshop. That can be completely online, done from your laptop, done from your computer, done from your phone. You can also build a DJ set using your own beats and edits and remixes. And these live performances will connect you directly to fans and collaborators in a unique way. And it's an area that so many producers never tap into. So you're already going to beat out a lot of the competition because not a lot of competition in the space. The last revenue stream that I think people should focus on beyond beat sales, if you're a music producer, is producer master points and back-end on artist projects. What is this? It's negotiating a percentage of the royalties on the master when producing for artists. A lot of producers don't do this. You might be surprised, but a lot of producers only focus on the initial sale of the beat and not the back end. The example of this is if you produce a song that earns royalties, you could be earning producer points or producer master points, which could be like 3 to 5% of the master if the artist is with a major label, and even more if they're independent. I have independent releases that I own up to 50% on the master. And, the artists are willing to give me that because I help them market the music. I pitch it for sync placements, etc. And they just believe in the value of my music. So we split it 50-50. And how to start with this is don't just ask for a beat sale fee. Negotiate your back end. Get some publishing ownership and get some producer points. Here's the rule of thumb. If you're the sole person who made the beat, you're entitled to 50% of the publishing, unless you agree otherwise. If you're the only producer and there's no sample, you should be getting 50% of the publishing. There's going to be certain cases where you might accept less in order to get the song to come out, things like that. But generally, 50% publishing if you're the sole producer. If there's two of you guys kind of decide how you want to split that 50 and so forth. right? Sometimes the artist will also produce, so they might get a percentage of your production side publishing. Kind of just depends. But then on the master points or the producer points, if it's an independent artist, gonna kind of depend. You're gonna kind of have to talk to them and see. But if it's a major label artist, you should be getting at least 3 points on the master if you are the only producer. If there's multiple producers, it might vary. You want to make sure that your contributions are going to be credited in the song metadata. You're going to want to use split sheets and legal agreements to secure your points. A lot of times, if you ask, people will have these things. If they're not willing to get them to you, this person might not be as serious about their music as you think. You might be able to propose a simple agreement that will allow you to secure your points and your publishing. Final thoughts here is that I've been in the music industry for over a decade, and on top of myself being a successful music producer who has built a business, I've also helped a lot of successful producers build ecosystems around their career. And each of these income streams can reinforce the other. A sync placement can lead to streaming attention on your catalog. Tutorials where you showcase your kits can lead to sound kit sales, and production credits that you do with artists where you get those producer points can also lead to publishing income, which my company, Elizabeth Music Group, can help you collect. You don't need to build every income stream at once. Start with 1 or 2 that align with your skills and passion. As you get good at those, then scale, right? I believe that as a creator, a lot of people try to do too many of these income streams at once. Get really good at 1 or really good at 2, and then start scaling, and that's going to really help you build a sustainable multi-stream income system for your creativity. And that's how you build a long-lasting music business as a music